J Baba, it's me again. I am making this video at this time because we have another group of pilgrims going to India. I think it's wonderful, and my prayers are with you all going. Here we are. This is what we do now. When you set out for pilgrimage, that is how you're going to live the rest of your life. And you'll find out. You'll find out if you haven't already. I had a second experience at India that I did not talk about because things moved really quickly and I was just kind of waiting for the right time. And now it seems like the right time because there's another group going. Our last night staying at the Mayor Pilgrim Center, well, we didn't know it was our last night, but that's when this happened. We got in trouble for bowing and we got kicked out. So when we got in trouble, I guess, was when the twins, Pam and Pauletta, were talking with John, and we were right in front of the tomb, and they both bowed. It was evening time. We were wrapping things up, and I wanted to bow, but we got yelled at by this lady not to do that, which I think is so silly. But I guess to them it has a lot of meaning in India, and not that it shouldn't to the pilgrims. It just, I don't think you'd get in trouble for that in America. So and then so I watched them one at a time, and I really wanted to bow, but they were getting yelled at, and it felt like I shouldn't, could not, I don't know, but I didn't, but I felt like a lot of bliss just from watching them bow. And I remembered I bowed to John when we were in the Leela Hotel about to wait in line for food at the buffet. And this one young lady saw me, and John said that was for her. That was a blessing. It was a blessing for her to see it. So I think that's what happened to me. It was a blessing for me to see the Pam and Pauletta bow, and that was the moment that got us kicked out. So also that was a blessing. It's also a blessing to get kicked out of there, which is what they even told us at the end. So that night, I don't really remember going back to our bed. I don't remember, which is weird because I normally remember things, but I don't remember going back to bed that night. And then next thing I know, I'm being like jolted, like electricity is forming, and it's bliss again. And I felt bliss like carried me from the tomb to bed that night. And I kept feeling all these, actually, like I was feeling bliss, and then all these images started popping into my head. And maybe some people can recall images really well in their heads. I'm not so good at that. It's so but try to imagine, if you, I mean, let's say you're just average intelligence or whatever that, so you just try to imagine like an apple, and it takes a little bit of work to imagine that apple in your head. You know, you have to kind of think about it. And okay, so when you're seeing God in your head, it doesn't require work. It just is there. It just pops up, and you're like, is this the ether? What is this? Are you playing jokes on me? And then just images of like everything in the world just popping in and out. It was like I was seeing the subtle realm or the ether, and just images of everything, like a mountain, a person, um, actually objects like a beach ball, random stuff. And I'm like, okay, all right, this is almost getting weird or almost kind of annoying. I just want to go to sleep, but I couldn't go to sleep. I felt like I was going to die or something if I went to sleep. I just kept being jolted, like God's just going to take me. I'm going to be unconscious or with God absorbed. Like I was like thinking, oh my gosh, I might just be, I could become like a vegetable. So I kept feeling this jolting feeling, and I'm like, just okay, what do I need to do? I need to say Jesus Christ's name. So I said Jesus Christ, and then that popped, and then it was like saying, oh, you want to see Jesus Christ? Boom, like, oh. Got that, no problem. I'm like, what is this? Is this good or bad? So I saw him in a similar form to this is actually pretty, like, it kind of is how, kind of, like, surprising. What I saw was, like, kind of how they say he's supposed to look like. Now, I've also heard people say, oh, he was small and brown, but he wasn't. He was, like, olive-skinned and taller, like, taller than, I think I was looking at him on Earth, from like a woman's point of view, because he was taller than me, and to me he looked kind of tallish, like, I don't know, maybe 6 foot, and he had dark hair and blue eyes and kind of a long face, and handsome, and I felt like an attraction to him, but not like in a weird way. It was just like spiritual, but like a friend, like very kind, and he strong, like ultimate strength, like emanating from that man. That was the most, like the biggest part of his essence was strength. And if you think about the story, the script, he kind of looked like this. He was, he, in the script, he bared the cross, like he had to die and take all the sins of the world. And imagine just carrying the cross and going through all of that takes a lot of physical strength. So it was, the mental, like, it's just unbelievable strength just within to endure that and survive, like, and live as long as he did through all the suffering before he died. Like, that's the cool thing about Jesus Christ of the avatars. He was like very strong and resilient. So that was cool. So that did pop up into my head, and it almost kind of like how the images pop into your head. It's kind of like when you push your hands against your eyeballs and you see all those weird kind of lights. They kind of came in and out of that, or almost like a kind of almost like static from like an old TV. It'd just be an image and then black in the background. But when I saw Jesus Christ, it looked sort of like a place similar to India, but probably the Near East, and it was, kind of arid and hilly and rocky where we were at. So yeah, that's how the image of God appeared to me. So I hope this helps. Thank you, J Baba.